everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you for the upcoming week. Just the highlights, though. The list, as always, is way too big to get into. If you'd like to see that full list, though, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the link that says Upcoming Vinyl Releases. Click on that, and you'll be treated to the most beautiful PDF document one could ever hope for. It's not pretty, but it is utilitarian, and it'll show you everything that we've got coming up for this upcoming week, release-wise. But for now, though, let's hit those highlights, as mentioned, for the week of May 24th, 2024. Quite the slate of new releases, though, to cover, starting off with something brand new from the one, the only Lenny Kravitz. This is called Blue Electric Light, and our description as, embellishing as always, says timeless, explosive, romantic, inspiring. How else to characterize Blue Electric Light, Lenny Kravitz's 12th studio album? It goes on to say that Kravitz's mastery of deep soul rock and roll is a long-established fact. And on this brand new album, Lenny's talents as a writer, producer, and multi-instrumentalist resonate as he wrote and played most of these instruments himself, but along with longtime guitarist Craig Ross. So a couple of different versions of this new Lenny Kravitz to talk about. Blue Electric Light on the standard black vinyl. It's a double LP. Looks like it comes with an insert in here as well. That one listing for about $35. Then there is an indie exclusive version of this as well, coming on kind of a translucent pink and blue colored vinyl, one of each. That one a little bit more, though, listing for $37. And then finally, just because they're releasing a picture disc version of Lenny Kravitz Blue Electric Light, this one a double picture disc. A couple of different pictures on that double LP picture disc, but it looks like it comes with the insert as well. This one a lot more expensive than the other two versions. The list on the picture disc is $45. So either way, you've got a choice between the picture disc, the colored vinyl, or the standard black vinyl. Let us know if you're interested in this brand new Lenny Kravitz called Blue Electric Light. Something also brand new from 21 Pilots. This is called Clancy. Clancy marks 21 Pilots' first studio album in 3 years, and it follows on the heels of their RIAA Gold Certified album, Scaled and Icy. So details of this new album were teased to fans earlier this month via cryptic mailings and covert looks at the cover art and streaming services, but it is here now, ready to go. Clancy, brand new stuff from 21 Pilots. We have a standard black vinyl version of this listing for about $28. And then there is an indie store exclusive on clear and red splatter vinyl. That one also listing for about $28. Here's something brand new from the band Wallows. This is called Model. Wallows is continuing their ever-evolving journey of sonic exploration, fusing a vast array of musical ideas from lo-fi, post-punk, and indie folk to early 90s dance pop psychedelia. That's a lot to fit in there, into one of their own one-of-a-kind creative vision. So a couple of different versions of the brand new Wallows, a clear vinyl version, listing for about $25. And then there is an indie exclusive version, looks to be a split-colored vinyl of Solid Orchid and Translucent Orange Crush, is what they're saying. That one listing also for $25. So make sure if you're looking for the new Wallows, make sure you say which version you'd like us to get a hold of for you. Here's something brand new from the transplanted California rock band Wallows. This is called News of the Universe, and it's coming on Orange Crush vinyl. Our description on this one is quite verbose, to tell you the truth, so we'll just hit the highlight and say that News of the Universe might be Wallows' most brutal album to date, but also their most blissful. So News of the Universe, brand new stuff from Wallows, coming from Sub Pop Records on that Orange Crush vinyl, listing for about $25. And keeping going on that punk side of things, here's something brand new from NoFX. And the album is called, the half album is called Half Album. The description is kind of sparse. It just says that Half Album is the final chapter to NoFX's epic double album. The songs that comprise this EP, this extended play, as well as its two predecessors, were all recorded at the same time. So Half Album is not simply the leftover songs from that session, but rather an integral part that ties the entire project together. So if you picked up the previous NoFX releases, Half Album, the new stuff from them, is going to wrap that whole session, that whole concept up, if you will. Coming in at a nice list price for an EP, $20, the suggested list on that. Finally, on the new front, we have got a couple of versions of the soundtrack to the new film about Amy Winehouse. This is called Back to Black, the original soundtrack. The description says that this is the official soundtrack release for the film about Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, which just released in this past week. Winehouse, of course, is widely considered to be one of the greatest artists in recent history, selling over 30 million records worldwide before her untimely death. So a couple of different versions of the soundtrack to Back to Black. We have a single LP version on black vinyl, this one coming in at a suggested list price of $38. And then we have an extended double LP version of this. This one comprises a grand collection, according to the description, of Amy's original recordings and tracks from her idols, such as the Shangri-Las, Billie Holiday, Dinah Washington, that were featured in the film in order of appearance, plus a new original track sung by Nick Cave. So this double LP expanded version of the Back to Black soundtrack, coming in a little bit heftier. It is an import from Universal UK, by the way. Suggested list price on this one is $51. And we've got some very cool stuff on the reissue front for the 24th of May as well. Kicking it off with an anniversary reissue of David Bowie's Diamond Dogs. A 50th anniversary reissue, to be clear on that. This one is a half-speed mastered version, so you know it is going to sound great. The audio, by the way, is coming from a 2016 remastering, but this new pressing, as we mentioned, is going to be a limited edition, half-speed mastered. Diamond Dogs was the 8th studio album by David Bowie, originally released in 1974. So the black vinyl single LP version, 50th anniversary half-speed master of Diamond Dogs, coming in at a reasonable suggested list price of $25. And just because there is a picture disc version of this as well, looks like it comes with a poster, coming in at a suggested list price of $25. Speaking of anniversary editions, here is a 10th anniversary edition of English Oceans by the band Drive-By Truckers. The description says that English Oceans was lauded with 4-star reviews from Mojo and Uncut Magazine upon its release in 2014. This version is a limited edition sea glass blue colored vinyl with a new D-side etching. So it's a 3-sided LP, double LP, but that 4th side is that etching. So English Oceans, the 10th anniversary edition from Drive-By Truckers, coming in at a suggested list price of about $30. Here's a great reissue of the 2012 album from Rival Sons called Head Down. The description says that this critically acclaimed 3rd full-length album from Rival Sons was widely celebrated as a game changer for the band, garnering accolades from across the globe. This reissue appears to be on colored vinyl, according to our image put forth on this, but nothing in the description says exactly what color it is or even confirms whether or not that would be a colored vinyl, so we'll have to take this one as it is. Regardless, though, Head Down, the reissue from Rival Sons, coming in at a suggested list price of $30. One compilation of note for the 24th coming out, this is Creed's Greatest Hits. This 14-track collection spans the band's multi-platinum studio albums, My Own Prison, Human Clay, and Weathered, and includes the singles Higher, With Arms Wide Open, and One Last Breath, among many, many others. So this double LP set features an etched D-side. So again, we're kind of getting that double LP, but that just enough to fill 3 sides of music, that 4th side being an etching. So Greatest Hits from Creed on black vinyl, with that aforementioned etching, coming in at a suggested list price of $33. Now here's an interesting one. Look very closely. It's not what you think it is. This is called Hopelessly Devoted to You, a various artists sampler coming from Hopeless Records. The description says that released in 1996 on CD only, Hopelessly Devoted to You showcased artists signed to Hopeless Records at the time. The compilation of pop punk and punk rock bands associated with the California skate scene, like Guttermouth, Falling Sickness, Nobodies, and Digger, became a staple for fans of the genre and helped propel many of these bands to wider recognition. So last year marked the 30th anniversary of Hopeless Records as a label, regarded, by the way, as one of the most iconic and longest-standing independent record labels. So this reissue of a sampler from Hopeless Records called Hopelessly Devoted to You, coming on red and black splatter vinyl, that one listing for about $27. And there is another variant on just red-colored vinyl, that one listing for about $25. And finally, we've got a trio of reissues from the Goofy guys called the Aquabats. The Aquabats, by the way, Well, best described as a ska-centric explosion. I guess that's a good way to put it, like the description says. First up is the return of the Aquabats, originally released in 1996. This was the debut album from the band, and it helped establish their unique musical style, their signature look, I'm chuckling at that one, and chaotic attitude. So Return of the Aquabats, listing for about $28. And then we also have a reissue of 1997's The Fury of the Aquabats. This one a double LP, so it's listing a little bit heftier, coming in at a suggested list of $40. And then finally, we're getting a reissue of the Aquabats versus the Floating Eye of Death. This one also a double LP, originally released in 1999. The description says that the Aquabats enter experimental territory, expanding beyond their ska roots. The band flexed their imaginative songwriting muscles, both in subject matter and style. It's a retroactive favorite with fans. The Aquabats, by the way, pressed into a more electronic sound with this one, according to our description. If you haven't checked out the Aquabats, look for them on YouTube because that's the best way to enjoy them visually outside of these 3 LPs. So this final one, the Aquabats versus the Floating Eye of Death, as mentioned, a double LP, this one also listing for about $40. Fun stuff, that is. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 24th of May, 2024. If you're local and you see something you'd like us to pre-order, just contact us here at the store and we will take care of that for you. Not local or curious as to what else is on the list that we didn't talk about, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the upcoming releases link and you can click on that and see the full list of everything coming out for this release date. So until next time, this has been Jim from Radio Wasteland Records. As always, thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you folks next week.